Hello everyone, welcome to Crazy Boots Krzy Creative. This is your host, Crazy Boot, that's me. Today we are working on our awesome model still. This is what we're working with. This is what you would call it, the Tiger 1. I am unprepared as usual. I forgot to include something so I could read what you guys are saying to me, so that's probably a good thing to have right now. Let me get that going. There we go. And next one now. Sorry. Okay, I can see you guys chatting. Should be able to. Hopefully you guys are saying stuff. There we go. My music is a bit loud. Okay, I can change that down. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Is that better, everyone? Sorry for blowing your eardrums out. No, it's not good? Okay. Okay. I can fix that. Let's try that. I wanted to stop blowing everybody's eardrums out, so I was going for more than less. So that should be... Isn't it funny how you never change a setting and then all of a sudden the settings are better? Okay, so if that's the case, then that means this shouldn't stop anything. There we go. Sorry, I thought you guys liked it loud. My apologies. So like I said, today we're working on the Tiger 131. It's the version from an old cartoon pinky thing that I don't have near me right now, sadly. Yeah, it's gone. Because I did some cleaning, so sorry. But it's from that little cartoon thing. I put a bunch of stuff in there to help make sure I didn't lose anything. But wouldn't you know it, I lost stuff. And today I get to show you the fun of having an airbrush for priming. There's also a can of spray paint that I sometimes use to spray paint things, but I got this cool airbrush and would like to use it. That's what I'm going to work on. And I do have the dropper here. And then I have this bottle of Windex close by. Not the Windex. This is the Windex. Stream not sponsored by Windex. Let me go back to restream so I can see you guys talk. Nope, no gameplay. Jay's way. This is just like a creative chill stream. Yes, kinda. That's what I was told to make. Akira Mori. So, oh, you build models on the side, Rockabilly Fireman. That's awesome. I started about 2 years ago with some Warhammer things and kind of enjoy doing it very, very much. So that's what inspired me to start a stream with us on it. Can you? Not just... Okay. That's better. Alright. So I got a tiny little heat kind of thing, airbrush paint thing that I'm working with, and I'm going to do some stuff. Silly putty is great for camo spray. What? Oh, I see what you mean. You put the silly putty on it and then you spray paint over, and then okay, yeah, I get you. I got what you're saying. I think I use sticky tack. It's the same kind of setup. And you can get rid of it by peeling it off, and then it gets its stickiness back. Yeah. So I take my little dropper thing, and I got this special airbrush paint from Citadel. It's watered down already, so you don't have to do much of that yourself. But it does say, hey, you should probably still use Windex. That's what the directions said. So it doesn't clog up anything. Which it still does clog up stuff. Even though it says so. We're gonna try this out. Hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, then I'll just go back to paintbrushing. So there's that, and now I gotta do the same with some Windex. Okay. Well, Rockabilly fan, we're doing a little something different. We're going to go for like a tan that's like this, pretty much. And then from there, we're going to try to do that 131 stuff. I also got a paint booth that I used a 3D printer for. It's pretty jank, but it's okay. Bits of bacon on the track wheel? What? I didn't think about that. I didn't think about putting bacon on the track wheels for texture. That's a new one. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in my paint booth. Come here. As it falls apart. Okay. This is said paint booth. Ta-da. It's just a cardboard box, and it helps stop the paint from going everywhere in all the directions. So this is how I'm going to be spray painting, aka airbrushing. I was lucky enough to get a 3D printer, and I'm able to print out a lot of parts. So I printed out these little cardboard holder things. There you go. There's that. And then behind the curtain is my mouse still. The cat steals the wheels. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this on. After I stir it up, I need to stir it up. Stirring it up. Stirring it up. Lay down the paint. So now I got my paint mixture with Windex to help stop it from clogging. And then I got this. Let me know if this is too loud. Is this too loud? It needs hardening. It shouldn't be that loud. Hopefully the music is drowning it out, but okay. Now we're gonna go fast. And now all I'm doing is just put airbrushing and some paint, trying to keep some distance from it. Oh, yeah. And the splashes. Gotta leave it time to dry and to clean. What I've learned is you're supposed to actually let up on your airbrush every once in a while. So it starts to pull up a nozzle, and when it starts to pull up a nozzle, it starts splattering within every other time you press the trigger. But right now it's going so good I don't want to stop it. I'm going to keep it going. Even though my hand is cramping and I'm not really enjoying it that much. I'm getting a lot of coverage. I like the rate it's going out. Most of the time I'm trying to stay like 6 inches away. Oh goodness, it's the children's song. I'm sorry if you guys don't like children, but it's playing right now. Yeah, right now I'm just painting and trying to get all the little crevices white. It's much faster than me using a brush. Oh, I'm doing it not on camera because it's this right here. It's spray painting. Well, I did not know that that was not on camera. I can't really do it on camera because then I'll spray the I'll spray paint the camera, and I don't think they understand that. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'll just describe it to you in great detail. The white paint is coating the plastic very, very nicely, very smoothly, and with much gusto. Get it? Gusto? Because it's an airbrush. Whee! Yeah. It's a good learning opportunity. Now, when you're airbrushing, if you get too close and the plastic isn't prepared correctly, you're gonna get like these little drippy things, these little droops. And I have learned that you can either let them dry and then scratch them off and start over, or you can try to use your airbrush and dry it like that without putting any paint on. You try to make the paint move in the right direction, like get out of here, paint. But that doesn't always work. So, let me see if I can fix a spot that has it. Yeah, once the paint dries, it's pretty forgiving. We got this thing. I'm not even sure if it's coming out right now. And this is my frustration with the airbrush. Oh, and I don't have a paper towel to clean it either. Oops. Is there one here? There it is not. Let me just grab a post-it. That'll show them. So that's the gunky buildup I was talking about from spraying too long. Now I'm trying to find something to clean it out. It's not working. Here we go. I found another sponge. 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 My new favorite word to say. Sponge. Sponging it out. You know what I'm doing? Q-tips? Yeah. I don't own any Q-tips. They're bad for the environment. Plus, you're not supposed to stick them in your ear. Like, deep down in your ear. That's what I was told by some medical professionals. So now it's working again. So, boom. Keep spraying, keep spraying, keep spraying. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, now I'm going to spray that place I messed up at. Yeah, go away, you jerk. You jerk dribbles. So see, I just spray painted right over it, and it kind of went away. So I just need to add another coat, and it should be good. So I'm going to spray on top here. Make sure that's all white. All right. Okay. I don't want to hide shot, but I forgot to do battle damage, but I don't think we're going to do battle damage on this one. Usually I do battle damage. Whoosh. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I'm surprised for picking it off too. Oh no, I got fingerprints on it, darn it. No problem, I airbrushed it away. Alright. So see how that's going much faster than brush. Normal paintbrush. Just trying to dry it a little bit. 4-4. That was the bingo number, right? I think you did that wrong. The places where I added texture is taking the paint very nicely compared to the places that I didn't, which are flat. So I have that going for me. a little bit more on here, and it should be good. So that is the tank hole, that's done. Now I'm going to do this one. Look at that, it's still got paint on my fingers. I was thinking, did I super glue this? I did super glue it because I'm a genius at this stuff. Now we're just going to paint this. Yay! Yay, airbrush! Go, airbrush, go, airbrush, go! Go, airbrush, go, airbrush, go! Keep it going! Very good. I've been airbrushing tinier models in this, so this is like a dream come true for me. I'm really enjoying this thing. One downside of airbrushing is changing paints is not that fun. Because you're supposed to clean out the whole airbrush part to keep going. Or have more than one airbrush. I have more than one airbrush, but the other one is cordless. And I learned a lot of airbrush stuff on it. So, I probably didn't clean it the best when I should have, even though I thought I did. But yeah. So when I get that one up and running, I can do 2 colors instead of just 1. Before having to swap out. Okay. It's a little wet here still. And then we're going to do little accessories. Whoa, gotta hold them down. There's that one. And then there's this one. I thought it was fun. All right. So that's the paint booth. I think I'm gonna do the rest by brush. So, yeah, what can I check for you? Is it my microphone? Because it should be on the butt. Oh, okay. The mic it's using. Let's do that, hang on. Yeah, so the mic is the Yeti. Unless I'm going to the wrong place. Just check the filters. I don't think I have filters. I don't think I ever put filters in place. Yeah, I don't have any. I don't have any filters. All right, we're gonna BRB real quick. And I'm back with new and improved sound settings. Hopefully this works better. Ooh, sorry. There we go.
Sounds much better. Okay,
right.
bye, Boop.
Bye.
Stream.
And let me go back to the internets. Switch that screen. Okay, there we go. Cool. Where was I? I was doing something. Doing something fun today. ADD is a real disease. I don't know if you guys were...
Change to the right screen.
That one. Now I'm back. Concentrating when I should be concentrating. There we go. There we go. Airbrushing. Airbrushing. Knocking things over while I airbrush. That's right, I was switching to brush. No more airbrush needed. Okay, this should be dry. We hope. I will paint that later. I will use this brush. Well, that brush is too big. That brush too big. Let me use this one. That one's better. I got my wet palette here with paint already in it from airbrushing. It's a little wet. It's more Windex than paint, so let me get paint in here. There we go. Now, the places where it's screwed up, I'm going to paint. Select the mud flaps here. Enjoy the top of my head. Just trying to go with the grain. Quote unquote. It's plastic, doesn't really have grain. But more or less fixing my mistakes. What I'm trying to do. And then we'll move into the sign on this place that wasn't taking paint very well either. Just trying to wrinkle out, get out all these wrinkles here. Quote unquote winkles. Going pretty light with my hand. Not pressing down too hard. Just trying to do the little kiss. Little kiss of the paintbrush. Then we're gonna move to the top. Even out the top. Which isn't working out because there's more Windex and paint. Alright. So what I did, and that was a mistake, was I used Windex mixture because it was just in my wet palette and I was like, why not? But it wasn't really leaving much paint as it was watered down Windex paint. So I had to add a little bit more paint to my brush, and now I'm going back over it and evening out everything. That's what I'm doing right now. I use the airbrush as just a giant big swathing, hey, let's start making this white. The airbrush isn't like a spray paint can as much as you would like it to be. It still needs a little touch up afterwards. But when you're doing other colors with spray paint, it looks a lot better. Like details with the spray paint brush work. Next time I'm on, I will do details with paint with airbrush. Just hopefully I'll have the booth set up and everything. What did you win on Friday? I don't know. What did you win on Friday? You can hear me? Good. Glad you can hear me. We took a lot of steps in that. Don't forget, there is a t-shirt contest going on. I'm pretty sure that you have the end of this week to submit stuff. Whee! White. Prime in the tank white. I may add colors that are like tan, that look like this. However, it's because you want it to stick. You want to be able to put more paint on it. So that's why I have to prime it white with the airbrush and these techniques. I'm working on my airbrush techniques right now on detailing. I've never done much detail with airbrush. This is the first airbrushing stuff I've done. I'm pretty new to it. next time you tune in, I will definitely have half of this thing painted in details with the airbrush, and then I'll just recreate what I did on stream. But yeah, just enjoying the paint. I got my COVID shot today, round 2. So I got my stabbing. It was very wasn't too bad. A little bit of a line. But yeah, my arm hurts, and I'm a little sleepy, but I'll get through it. Feeling a little under the weather. It's also raining outside. I don't know if you know, if you live in Texas. Yes, it's on the Watt album. It's also on Spotify, so that's what I'm playing it from. I'm playing it from Spotify. It's our music, so I can do that. So if you're from Twitch or you report me to Twitch, haha, it's from our music. Take that. I think this is Murney or something. Something weird. Yeah, this is Murney 13 from our Halloween event that we did this past Halloween. The last Waffenträger. They made all these creepy sounding things. One with kids in it. I don't like that one. It's too real. Yeah, you can't get out of the X-Acto thing. You always need an X-Acto as a hobbyist. It cuts, it pries, makes you bleed, trims, sands. I break the tips off and then I basically have to throw away the knife, the blade part, because I use it to pry too much. I do that with all of my X-Acto blades. Like I'll swap out the blades, use it to pry something, and then it snap the tip off, and I go again. I'll never learn. The paint. Forget that I said that. The paint is from Citadel, and they do Warhammer 40k. That's what they specialize in, and that's kind of what I have been started with, and I enjoy very much painting with them. I also have a firm belief of it. I don't really want to switch paints unless I run out of the paint that I need, and then I'll switch over. So I've been hearing good things about Vallejo, but they have an eyedropper style paint thing set up, and that's kind of annoying because like I like to dip into the paint. However, when you drop an eyedropper paint, you don't lose half the can on your playmats. So it's another good reason. Citadel paints. So boom, Citadel. No, not acrylics. No. These are a little bit different than acrylics. They react different to water, and they stick a little bit better. Yes, you can use acrylics. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not trying to rule your life. But so these paints are made for model painting. They stick better to the models and the plastic and stuff. And the colors mix a little bit different. I did paint a model with acrylics once. I did all like hand mixing and did cool things like that. Traditional paint style, but there is a big difference between that I could tell when I was like, oh, I'm actually using model paints and it's doing its job better. I also don't like mixing paints every time I need a color, and buying a color that a model is going to need and having to mix that color over and over again is pretty annoying. So why not just buy the paint? It's a lot of labor. yes, testers do make good model paint as well. I don't like what the tester's paint does to my brushes, and I like to switch between airbrush and brush, so thus my aversion to using testers, acrylics, because their paint gums up your gut brushes and ruins them pretty quick. Also, I like to work with washes, and these paints work better with washes. Yeah. Oh, see you later. Golf matches they are more exciting to me. Not trying to argue there. I'm just painting tanks, painting a plastic tank. You're literally watching paint dry with me. If that's not your speed, then probably not the stream for you. Oh hey, it's my favorite song. It keeps coming up and I don't know why. I'm like, I'm in control of the music or something. Maybe I start the playlist at the same spot. Fabric acrylic paints? That's an interesting one. By the way, this lady that plays this song does a lot of nerdy remixes in her style, and it's amazing. She's like the Ginger. I think that's her YouTube name. Not trying to offend anybody. That's her name. Yeah, the hurdy-gurdy. I don't think I'm allowed to draw 13 stars on this tank. I'm pretty sure that's a bad thing related to history. We don't want to get too political. So now I'm working on the back. Just trying to make all the paint stick on the back there. You can see where I messed up on the airbrush. But if you had enough white, it goes away. So you see these mess ups on the white paint. When you use an airbrush, the same kind of stuff can happen. So that's kind of even more frustrating. Which is why I still use detailing with brushes. I still don't airbrush details. The models I normally paint are kind of tiny, so I don't need to worry about detailing with airbrushes, because I really can't. So I've never had practice on it. So in the meantime, I will be practicing on this tank and probably putting 17 coats of paint on it to make it really, really, really big. Trying to detail it, oh, excuse me, with airbrush paint. Howdy, chat. The girl's name, I can't remember off the top of my head without doing a Google search. But you can do, let me see if I can see the playlist real quick. Which one is it? Oh. It's the Ginger, I believe. Oh, I can just press this. So just do the Janky soundtrack remix, because her name is definitely not in this. No. Well, there's another girl that does Rammstein riffs. They might be the same person. I don't have a particular model scale that I like to stick to. No. I'm pretty flexible with that. I'm not trying to build a battle scene. So that's kind of where I think the scale needs to stay the same as if you're working on a battle scene. Right? Or if you just like to be goofy like me, so you have a really big tank and a really tiny airplane. That's something you could do. Make the tank look like King Kong. Oh, you can't see what I'm painting. Eh. And then I can't see what you're painting, what I'm painting, when I look at you, when you're watching me paint. The big chicken before the egg situation. Oh no, I'm almost out of this airbrush paint. I use this white paint a lot. Yeah, ginger tail. That's the one. I promise I wasn't trying to be offensive. I could have swore her YouTube name was The Ginger. This is the other part that I messed up, where I kind of airbrushed over it a little bit, but now my detailing fixes it completely. I don't know if this happens to you modelers, but if you can see that stray hair on my brush, that drives me nuts. Well, you have one job, stick with your brothers, come on. And it's always the wild one that just sticks out. It drives me. Come on. Oh, I forgot to do that too. Oh darn. Okay, well, I guess I'll mess that side up. I guess I'll paint this side, okay. I lost that during my move, and I can replace it and fix it. But now that means I have to mess up my paint job, so when I get back next time, it will be removed, and I will go through those steps with green stuff, because it's kind of fun to learn about green stuff and how that works, and what it's for, and what you can do with it. If you don't have plastic parts, you can also save, what do they call them, the sprues? Yeah, they're called sprues. And you can make a little gun, machine gun thing, machine gun muzzle with one of those sprues by just sanding it down if you have a Dremel. Or a Dremel-like object, like I do. Dremel is very important in the model world. Just saying. You can add a bunch of magnets to stuff. Some games require you to add magnets to stuff. Otherwise you have to buy a stupid amount of extra models. While I do that, we can just drill a hole, put a magnet in it, and then bam. You got a new model. Yeah, I do have spray primer as well, but that stuff's expensive. So I don't use it very often. I usually just use whatever base coat of white that I have in the airbrush and move on. Some people say that you can just use the normal Krylon Touch white paint from anywhere as a base and it should work. The people that I buy at the model store, I don't know if they're jacking up prices on me or they're lying to me, but they said that there's a big difference between that paint and the Krylon paint that Walmart sells. So I don't know who to believe. That's Nicholas turn. You're funny, but you can't help it sometimes. How many people get mad at me and just hit the target when I'm in arty and I'm like, I tried. I'm trying. It's not working out for you, man. There are good tips and tricks on arty. The faster ones, like in the British line that have short range, usually have better movement. And you can get to like an area where normally a TD would sit, and that gives you more options on firing and doing more damage. Also, your rounds fly over rocks and stuff, so you can get to a position where a TD wouldn't normally be able to fire, like behind a rock, and just light someone up. And then you have the protection of the TD with you. Some of the slower ones kind of need to stay in the back. Sometimes during a match, I try to stay away from the spawn, knowing that's where light tanks are going to go. 95% of the time, they're going to go straight to the back and try to find all the arties and kill them, because yes, they are annoying, but they do a job. They help the push. They help the heavies win the push. Because if you're getting plinged from the air while you're trying to block shots from the front, chances are you're going to get outgunned. Also, you make the enemy have to flank and move, because they won't be able to get through that push if they try to be smart and not fight that flank. I believe the Chieftain released a video on a bunch of more extra tips that I'm kind of that I remembered and am now repeating to you. He has a huge video series about, he's an arty player, here's what you do, kind of part 2, part 1 and 2. Almost done. Oh man, I scratched it. The reason I like using this paint, even though it's thin, is because it's thin. I can add layers and actually let the layers dry and keep going if I want. Or I can leave the layers alone and let the differences in whites kind of give a little background texture in vibrancy. So like some spots will be darker than others. Kind of unevenness you can actually plan, and it'll pop through on your colors on top. Variation was the word I was looking for. Variation of whites. The big technique of Citadel paints is doing that, is watering it down and then letting you layer little layers on top of it to add more color or less color depending on which way you're going. So this one's all white. Oh, no, it's not. I missed some details. I got the details here on the side. Oh, yes. It's not to scale. It's from a cartoon. It's like a cartoony tank game called World of War Tunes, something like that. They kind of went out of business, but the tanks are still around, and I like the way the tank models look. They're pretty funny and awesome. I believe next is a kitty cat tank. It's the next tank I do. I do have an update though. I got a 3D printer and would like to start streaming that kind of stuff. I have one last test that I'm working on with the 3D printer, and it's making sure that I can print stuff in decent quality from my work computer using programs, and it coming out pretty decent, looking okay, and then going from there. If you guys are interested in following suit with 3D printers, I have a little bit of tips and tricks as well that I've picked up from other 3D printers that you could just easily Google, but I already did the Googling for you, so I'll just drop links. I wanted to do a cell shading thing. So I did add texture to it, but you're correct. I did not do the battle damage or anything. So I kind of want to do it the anime girl style, Kuromori 131 kind of thing. That's the final look I'm aiming for. I probably should have a final look thing to post everybody so you can see where my head's at, to see where I'm going. I'll mark that down for future. If Domo's here, he's supposed to be doing models with me. I don't know if he's here though. Let me see if there's a new message for me. No, he's not here. I don't think he's here. He's busy doing CC things. So this is the turret that I kind of went over with an airbrush real quick. Didn't really focus too hard. I'm going to even out some of this. Nah, he's not here. He's not scared to make himself known. Ooh, excuse me. Painting the corners, painting the corners. In case you guys have never been on this stream before and you're kind of digging it, the soothing sounds of Crazy Boop's crazy voice. I made a wet palette and it's very janky. It's just a wet paper towel with some parchment paper on top. It's in a sandwich box holder to keep the paint fresh so you can keep using it over and over and over again. Just keep in mind that if you put anything that touches your mouth, hands, stuff like that, it's going to get moldy if you leave it in there. Because it's like a petri dish. It's got all the moisture it needs to do its thing. And there it is. As you remember, I used a file and added texture to all of this. So right now I am going with the texture grain and making sure that the paint fills in all those gaps. The stuff that didn't have texture is kind of like, is this stuff right here, which is not very well painted. And the paint isn't really coming together. Also, these are vents, so these are a pain in the butt too. There we go. Woody-doo. Gonna paint that little viewport white. Keep adding the white paints. Keep adding the white paints. I hope you guys got on over the weekend and got in the game for discounts and stuff. I believe they had good discounts. I can't remember. Either it was this weekend or last weekend they had a big consumable sale. So you could really get some value. In game, if that was your goal. Week before? Yeah. My weeks blend together. Oh goodness, I got white paint everywhere. Sometimes I wish I was a cake decorator. Because then if I was painting cakes instead of models, I could eat them in between. Tank cakes! Maybe next time we'll do a cooking show. Sometime. Make tanks out of meatloaf. Meatloaf, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Making tanks. One. Food. Yep, food. We're on that subject again. As it is dinner time. Stop moving. Oh, goodness. Oh. That would have been the end of the stream, everybody. Luckily, the paint is very, very empty. Otherwise, there would have been a lot of swear words that coming out of my mouth. What? No. My last hot tub endeavor didn't go very well. I went on a trip to Colorado for a friend's birthday, and the Airbnb we stayed at had a hot tub. Little did we know that the hot tub water wasn't very clean. So I still have a little bit of a rash on my sides. Don't know what it's from, but at least it's fading and going away. Who knows? I might be a mutant now. So hot tubs scare me. Especially ones that have been used in the public. Because what does that? gross and it's weird. I didn't like it. Wasn't a fan. Oh, I did add a drop of super glue between the muzzle and inside the turret, so this won't pop off 60,000 times like the other tank model that I have. Stop that from happening. As you can see, I didn't really do a great job on this one, airbrush wise, because I realized you guys couldn't see what I was doing with the airbrush, and it's kind of not fair. So I'm just going to do my airbrushing later, and I'm going to do a setup better for airbrushing. Maybe punch a hole in my airbrush paint booth thing, my janky paint booth, and then go from there. I'm not gonna show you. Like, it was just on my sides. It's not anything that gross. It's more of a more you know kind of moment of be wary of public hot tubs. It's a, what do they call that? A public service announcement? That's what I was doing. I'm trying to help you guys out with my janky adventures. Other than that, the trip was amazing. Need to add some water because my brush is getting a little gummy. There we go. And just like that, taking a little brush, do a little brushy. Brushy. Evening out the white coats. Painting the details. There you go. Like so. Missed some spots up here. Moving on to the muzzles. Add more white. White up top. Yes, we didn't know there was dirty water until we uncovered it during the day. It was like, oh, that's probably why they don't change the water. So beware. I feel like it's also a stop the wet paint from touching my playmat kind of thing. I like how you said critters and not varmints. I need this. I need to see this. There we go. Whew. Lots of good things happening with the white paint. I'll see if I can get a hold of a hot tub in my apartment. We'll look into that. Knowing me though, I'd probably drop everything and look into the hot tub water. $300 days a year, huh? Very fun travel job. Water slide tester is what I would guess your job would be. Well, thank you for tuning in. I know Wi-Fi sometimes isn't free at your hotels. So thank you for choosing me to be your entertainment this evening, when there's literally thousands of other things you could be doing. Like enjoying it in a hotel hot tub. Also food service. Not food service, what do they call it? Room service, that's the one. Oh, hotel security and assessments. Nice. Consulting. Very, very good job to have. Stop the vandalism at hotels. So this is pretty much done. Ah. And I gotta paint some details. Here's a detail from the side of the tank. I'm gonna paint that. Oh. Let me get it down and out of the way. X-Acto knife use number 334. Hold something down while you paint it. Take that. Plastic piece. I'll do the same for the other track parts that only lean one way. Pretty quickly, actually, because it's very thin and I'm putting on thin coats. The paint dries super quick, so like I can now like touch this pretty free-handedly. It's another thing that's different from this and acrylics is you don't have to wait between coats that far. And your hands still stay clean, so that's another reason kind of why I like Citadels is because I can always bounce back between parts with this Citadel paints instead of like I haven't really done much with testers outside from being 10. So I don't know if you can do that with testers or not. So you being a hotel person, should we go by the ratings that people leave or the official ratings that the hotel says? When it says, hey, we are a 3-star hotel. We are a 4-star hotel. Oh, we're just asking Medic 24 some hotel questions since he does security assessments for them. I had a curious question. Like, do you listen to the official ones or the guest Yellow Book ones? Yellow Pages ones? Oh, you thought you were targeted? That one got you to respond, huh? No judgment from me. You play what you want to play. Yeah, put your pitchforks down, everyone. He plays World of Tanks. Little brushy. Thanks, Nightbot. Nobody asked you. I need to handle this side. Sometimes it's loading music. Right now it's the Pilsen intro. Sometimes it's Murney stuff. I was trying to get the Offspring put in this mix. Didn't really work out. Because the Offspring, they have their own intro music for every map. That's really cool. So I don't know if anyone actually purchased that bundle. It's a pretty good bundle to have. The TL1, the TL-1 PC is a pretty decent tank in my opinion. Because I can do okay in it. Sorry, I'm concentrating a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes, no DRM strikes, because we do own the tunes. Yes, it depends on what you want to do. The German heavies have a lot of crew slots to fill, so unless you kind of been going down that line already, it's a little big. There's a lot of room in there to play with. Because I believe the Mob Wrecker is like a premium version of the mouse, so you can have something to train your crew in at tier 8 instead of having to go through tier 10. Well, if you're going for the IS4, then I wouldn't get the Mob Wrecker. Unless you just want to have fun with German tanks. Road wheel. This one? Oh, this is a thumb drive, sorry. This one? Yeah, that one. Hey! I need them! But yeah, you're right. I do need to trim them. You ever try to pick a playing card up with trim nails? Pain in the butt. Also, I use them to hold things down when I'm gluing. They're very useful, I'm just saying. My hands are not little. My hands are average for my height. But it's cool, y'all can roast me if you want. I also have a big nose. Don't forget that, see? Bam! I beat people in bicycle races because my nose acts as aerodynamics. That's the wind resistance. Doesn't look 8856. What? It's fine. Oh, the whole model is cartoonified, if you're curious. It's not like a legit, it's not a historically accurate Tiger tank model. It's a World of Toons, an old video game tank model, so it's a little cartoony. The whole tank is. This is the chassis, the box. There you go. Big nose, big nails. They gotta match. Also, I've been itchy lately, so I need the nails. Some people say just take a shower, but, you know, water is so expensive. There we go. Getting a little bit of the cannon. Getting that ready to fire some tank rounds. Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Almost done. A little bit of details left. Little viewports here. And this little bugger. This viewport ring is what I can call it because that's what's holding the viewports in place. The technical term. Some might call it the hatch top. That's not what it actually is. It is a viewport holder. If you don't believe me, you can fight me. I have the big nose and big nails. I'll take you out. Maybe we should do stream theme nights. One day I could be emo. That would be fun. What AP rocket used for Panzership? I don't know. That's a good question. Do you know? Oh, I love your avatar! I like that show on Netflix. That show is really good. Did you see the movie? Harvey, did you see that movie? It was amazing. It was goofy, it made me laugh a bunch. Not as big as yours. It's cool, 60-year-old kid. I was in the military, I have a pretty thick skin. For any veterans that are watching the stream, I hope you are going to the VA to get your shots. They are giving them out. Along with many other places, but yeah. No, Wargaming does not have any specific openings for 3D animators at this time. You are free to apply, though, on our website of wargaming.com. That has all our openings. I'm not current on listings, though, but I'm pretty sure that one's not available. Those jobs are very rare and filled pretty quickly. Most of our team that does that kind of stuff is in Minsk, RU area, so you kind of need to be able to speak the language there. A lot of challenges. Our American, so the one you moved from, World of Tanks console, has studios in America, so they could be looking for animators, and those jobs would show up on our website as well. But I haven't seen any recently. But good luck on getting a 3D animator position. A lot of my friends that I went to school with for that kind of stuff are still looking for work, or have decided to just do contract work and build up from there. Kind of seems to be the pathway that is going on, unless you do a crazy awesome 3D animated short and someone at Disney finds it or something like that. Something extremely rare like that, you're probably going to have a difficult time finding 3D animator positions. But I do wish you the best of luck in doing that. And I hope you like rigging, because that's what you'll be doing most of the time. Oh, sorry, I can't see that. There you go. So I even did it I did 3D animating for a while. I worked on a startup video game that never really went anywhere, never got backed. So it didn't really go anywhere, but I still have the assets that I animated. And when we were coming up with it, I didn't just animate, I was making rigs for all of them, for all the characters that we had. That was a huge pain point that I had to deal with. Because I like animating, I don't like rigging that much. For those of you not in the know of what we're talking about, animating 3D characters is a job, kind of like what you see with the 3D movies on like Pixar, Disney. Most of the shows that are out now that are cartoons are 3D animated. That kind of stuff. They pay people to animate those things, but those jobs aren't very forthcoming. And when I'm talking about rigging, there's a process in Maya where you add quote-unquote bones to a 3D model, and those bones move with controls that you can't see because they don't get rendered like Marvel movies. They all had 3D characters that were rigged and stuff like that. You don't see their animation controls, which is what the rig is. So, no, the stream isn't rigged. Oh, yeah. I didn't even catch that. I hope you like rigging. Oops. Oops. Not that kind of rigging. Rigging is making a skeleton out of a 3D model. Making a skeleton with a 3D model move so you can animate it. So that's what I mean by rigging in 3D model terms. Good catch, World of Tanks. Good catch. Okay. I gotta still do the back a little bit more to get the right color. Look at this. Without my nails, I wouldn't be able to do this. Wouldn't be able to hold up the tank model on the inside. Sorry, can't see that. Probably shouldn't worry about the bottom too much, but you will see this bottom. That's why I have to paint it. Now, I've just painted some of this stuff, and I can actually go over it with the wet brush and still move the paint. As long as it's not dried yet, I can still move paint around. That's another advantage of this kind of paint. All it takes is a wet brush and you can keep going. I swear I'm gonna cut these strands that are deciding to go rogue on me. They get on my nerves. I'm making a promise to them. I was thinking about doing magnets for the tank turret traverse thing, so it can spin 360, no problems. But I don't know how it would work. And if it's a magnet, it would be very, very flimsy. Like it would be free floating very, very easily. So like it would spin super easy. You imagine the tiger to be like this one, huh? That's interesting. We're gonna love it even more when it has anime girls all over it. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Back of the tank. This is what I'm doing. Those tanks are huge. Did I see one? Yeah, I did see one. That was in our Ontario Tank Museum that we visited. I also got to climb in a Hetzer. That was awesome. World Tanks let me stay inside of a Sherman tank, and they went home. I got stuck inside of a Sherman tank overnight. That was super fun. I'm just kidding. Oh, it's my other favorite song. But I don't like the map. I'm not a fan of the map. There's nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Look out now, here Artie comes. No. But it's not easy to get out of a tank when the lights are out and you're not familiar with the tank. I would hope that tank crews had that stuff memorized. I'm playing around in the tank so often. I know by the time I was done with my enlistment, I could definitely navigate my way around a helicopter pretty easily with my eyes closed. Pretty much coming to an end on this stream with this paint. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do stuff without you guys, because I don't think you guys are following along with me, if I'm correct. So I think I'm just gonna do kind of like what the cooking shows do, and be like, this is what it looked like before, picture, and then this is what it looks like now, ta-da! Because I did get a 3D printer, and I do want to get into that. Getting into settings and things like that is a stream in itself. Coming out to the first prints, slicing, what slicing products to use, that kind of thing. Oh, okay. Then I'll stay here. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Just trying to feel the crowd out. Feel the crowd out. Now I gotta paint the front. And I recap my process so far. Okay, so step one, I picked a product, a tank that I really wanted to build, which was a World War II's version of a Tiger 1 tank. So it's like a really big cartoon version of the tanks. And I decided I want to put those together. And then number two, I just put them together. These aren't very difficult to put together. When you put them together, they're usually just snap-ons. You kind of snap and click in. I took the liberty to glue some parts because I'm tired of them falling apart sometimes. Then I took a file and I textured all the tank spots so that the paint would stick easier to the tank. Some spots that I didn't texture are like these front little panels right here, because they're really, really thin and flimsy. And like these right here. So I didn't texture those, so those needed more coats of paint. Now I am on the prime stage of model painting. So here I am, making sure everything is super white and coated evenly. But when I add the extra colors that are going to go on, the extra colors I'm going to go with are going to be like this tan color, but maybe just a little bit browner. I'm going for the 131 look, and then some people in the stream asked if I could do one of our most recent releases was what's that show called with the girls? I forget. I'm blanking right now. It's gonna kill me. Girls in Panzer. That's the one. Yeah, we're doing a release of Girls in Panzer, so I was going to make it look like one of those. The Tiger 131 in there. And then what else did we go over? I'm using Citadel paints, Mike. So I don't know if you're familiar with Citadel paints and all of Warhammer, but that's the paints I use. Mostly because those are the model paints I have around, and I didn't want to spend more money on extra model paints and then have to try them out and not know how they work. I already know how these model paints react. I kind of have a workflow set up with them. So that's the reason why I'm using those paints. So but that should bring you up to speed. I've already done one tank this year. I started last year though, so it's kind of cheating, but also not. It was the Sherman, and I will show that off now. Because I believe I finished it, but then I forgot to take pictures and put it on the forums. I'm a dunce sometimes, and I forget to do things like that. Yeah, I could show you that one. Something I've already completed. And then I'm not going to go that direction with its tank. So there's that primed. Pretty much. I normally do brush because I work with smaller scale stuff. I usually work with like 35mm models. So I'm kind of a bit advocate of paintbrush. However, I started using spray recently, and through priming this one, I kind of was enjoying it very much, and I want to do details with it next time. I'm going to try details and then come back and go over what I learned from trying to do details. This is the tank that I finished last time though. This one is still kind of cartoony, but not as much. But that's what I did last time. I did this model. It's artwork, so it's never quite done. Keep that in mind. I could do better with the mud, and some of the sleeping bags could be highlighted a little bit better, as much as the other stuff is. Yeah. But for the most part, this is what I came up with. I kind of used black ink outlines to help make it look like a cartoon, kinda, which is what gave me the idea to do cell shading. If you're familiar with cell shading, it looks like Borderlands. They have cell shaded their entire video game, so that's what I'm going for. Cell shading is like they'll do the edges in black at certain angles, and that's called edge detection. So it looks black on the outside like a black outline. So that's kind of what I'm going to go for this tank, is I found some sweet cell shading tutorials on the internet, and I want to give them a try. But yeah, that's the one that I finished recently, and it's from the same set. So this is also a World War Tank 2's set, for the most part. So that's that. I still have details to paint, so I'm not quite done. I jumped the gun on that, on the unfinished priming. However, like, so all this stuff, that's definitely going to get air painted as best I can, because it's light and it'll probably get pushed around a lot. This one isn't done yet, so I gotta finish painting. Oh, that's too much agua. Not enough paint. There it is. You can get out of the way, because I think you're done. Yeah, you're done. And I'm done with that. Yeah. That's good enough. There we go. Alright. I'm by no means an expert, so if you, Mike, have any tips for me, I am more than ready to listen, because I've only been doing this for about 2 years, where apparently some people have been in here doing it for a long time, since they were 10. I didn't have that big of interest in models when I was 10. So didn't really do much there. There's that. Oh, okay. Do you play any miniature games, Mike? Because that's kind of what got me into models, was I was playing a game that has unpainted models, and that's kind of where I started. It's like, oh, hey, this is fun. I want to do that. And I started doing it. So I started playing War Machine and Hordes. And then I went to 40K because no one was playing my game where I moved, so that made me sad, so I had to pick up another game. Oh, what takes all your free time? I understand. Some of our marathons are like that. They're definitely designed that way. Take up all your free time. There are still miniature games that you can get into that are not as heavy on the price point. Oatmeal. Oatmeal cookies. Roger. Yeah, for raisins. Use that name for raisins. I'm just gonna go now. Cranberries? What? Why? Oatmeal cranberry cookies? Ugh. Those are the cookies you get to someone you really don't like. Or maybe that friend that you're like made you mad, so you're just trying to get back at them. I guess if you have to have your cranberries, why not put it in a cookie? But still. Ugh. I hope me as an old guy doesn't like oatmeal raisin cookies, oatmeal cranberry cookies. I'll just be like the, please take me out. I don't want to be on this planet anymore. Oh, I can show off what I did 3D print so far. So I can do that now because we have like 5 minutes left of the stream, and I'm kind of just painting wheels to paint wheels. Not really have much else to do. Clean the brush, clean the brush, clean the brush. Okay, so I started off and I printed a cube. Let me move this back. Oh goodness. I'm breaking everything, sorry guys. What's that? Move that out of the way. Alright. So step one is I printed out a cube. I wanted to make sure that the printer I got worked out very well. Very good. I want to make sure it worked very good. Right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Then I printed out things I might need for painting, like a paint booth. So then I printed out 4 of these. I like the quality of the cube. I was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. Let's print out some tools or things I could use for modeling. This is a paint booth clip, quote unquote. So you put 2 sides of poster board in here, you print out 4 of these, and they just make a booth for you that you can just keep reusing over and over again. So one side goes in here, one side goes in here. This one took a little bit to print, but as you can see, pretty nifty. You can screw into it if you want to. They put holes there if you really wanted to keep the same poster board around. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna 3D print a tank. And I was like, cool, I'll print this turret. And this is how it came out. Now, it came out, there was an actual cannon here, and I found out through the slicing software that you can't print out things where, like, so the base would be down here. So it printed out this first, and then when it got to here, it started going up. And since there was no support, it did its best. I could print an ocarina. Yes, I do plan on doing tracks, printed out tracks. However, they have different filaments that you can use. So you can swap out the filament and use a, what you call it, a TPU style of plastic, which is super flexible. So it would act exactly like rubber when you 3D print the tracks out on it. So I'm going to be doing that. Now, I don't know if you can see, but because I printed from here up, all this stringy stuff came out because there was no support. So I learned that lesson pretty much the hard way. And it looks like garbage, as you can see. So I had to abandon that whole print job. I didn't print out the other parts, and I don't have a complete one, and that's a life lesson. Then I found out about trying using supports, so I found these cool looking mimic chests from D&D, and this is what I printed right here. It came in 2 pieces, so it came in this piece and this piece. You can see the seam right here, so I kind of need to fill that in with green stuff or sand it down or something. But yeah, this one came with a bunch of supports. I learned my lesson and printed that out. So the supports came up to his tongue, so you can kind of see where all the supports are. So I still need to sand that down a little bit. And I broke off 2 teeth. This one, which is now gone, and I broke off this one, which I glued back. But for the most part, this was a successful print, and it has a lot of details in it, which I was testing out with a 3D printer. I wanted to see how it did hard edges and details like that. And so this one was good. And now I'm on my final test of printing out a model that I'm creating in a 3D program that I have, and then moving that to a 3D printer and seeing if that is successful, which it should be, because I think the only limitation you have is it has to be an STL file for it to slice. And I've done it before, but I didn't do it very well, or I don't remember all the steps because it was a while ago. So yes. Yeah, 6-year-old kid, you're right. You thought into how you lay down support, which you can trim off this. And this is the software that you use. I use Krzy. It's free. There's other versions that aren't free, but for the most part, it's free. They are the ones that I've been using. They have like, you should add supports here, that kind of thing. They show you where you need it. It's highlighted in red, so you can do that kind of stuff. But that is pretty much the end of my stream. I'm at 7:59. Trying not to overstep my bounds anymore. I got here early on time this time, even though I had technical difficulties, so I'm sorry. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Enjoy everything World of Tanks, and I will see you guys next time, which I don't know when. Probably the next Monday after this, or something like that. All right. Bye, everybody.